committed. This is the CBC Evening News.
A very good evening to you. I'm Lisa Broom. We begin tonight with the U.S. elections. The polls are now closing on the east coast of the United States, and we're hearing that Latino voters may very well be the group deciding the next president of the United States. This as anti-immigration rhetoric from Donald Trump has pushed a record number to the polls. We have more in this CNN report.
First of all, it is the one demographic that is growing gangbusters. 800,000 Latinos, Aaron, turn 18 every year. And that is going to be the case for the next, 10, 20, 50 years for the foreseeable future. And so these are trends that Republicans really aren't, they're not changing their politics to match that, which is why they're going to be in big trouble if they don't go back and do exactly what David said. Latino Decisions, which is one of the premier pollsters who actually know how to poll Latinos, did an election eve poll last night. And what they demonstrated is something that to me demonstrates just how the immigration issue and the rhetoric that Donald Trump and the Republicans have been using against Latinos is really focused on their mobilization. The immigration issue came out on top of jobs and the economy for the first time in a very long time in terms of the number one issue that Latinos are going to the polls to register their concern and intensity about.
But it's not just, and it's not just in some of these swing states. I mean, that's what's going to be so fascinating. Even in California, you have seen huge, massive increases in Latino registration, which could affect other races all the way down to like the mayor's race of LA, and I think that there is, I do think that there is kind of a one-time effect here in some ways with Donald Trump, because so many of the voters that we've been talking to in battleground states, Latino voters around the country, are so angry at what he has said over and over again, and we're just could not wait to get out there and vote against him, and we're making sure that members of their family were registered. So there is a clear effect that in terms of him galvanizing the Latino vote this year.
Well, there's not much left for the two candidates to do this election night, but it certainly has been a busy day for both Trump and Clinton.
Sarah, you're there at Trump election night headquarters in New York City. What is Trump doing today? Where will he be watching the returns?
Well, Jake, Donald Trump is at Trump Tower today, and I just want you to think for a second about what it is like for him in these final hours. He has spent nearly a year and a half running for president. He has never done this before, and at this point, really all you can do is wait. Your ads are on the air, your field staffers are out in battleground states, and so Donald Trump is there in Trump Tower. He passed through the war room they have set up there earlier. I'm told he was greeted with a standing ovation at Trump Tower, and he's, touching base in some battleground states. He did a couple of radio interviews, but essentially just waiting. We're expecting him to stay there this evening to watch the returns there, and then later on he's going to head over to the Hilton for his official victory party.
Jeff Zeleny is covering the Clinton campaign and joins us now live from New York. Jeff, we saw Hillary Clinton voting this morning near her home in Chappaqua, New York. What's she been doing since then?
Well, Jake, she did vote this morning early on, and that was just a few hours after flying back to New York after a final midnight rally in Raleigh, North Carolina. And as I watched her get off the plane, you could see that there was a bit of confidence in her as she's closing this campaign. They believe that this campaign is in a better position than it was a few days ago. But you get a sense of where they are still trying to turn out the vote by the number of radio interviews she has done throughout the day. Detroit is one, Charlotte is one, Raleigh is one, New Hampshire stations. So those are states she is definitely trying to get her voice into, and she is trying to get out the vote there. Now, she will be coming to Manhattan to watch those returns in the Peninsula Hotel, and then she will be coming here to the Javits Center, where thousands of people will be gathering here beneath a glass ceiling, if you can see it above me here. And of course, that is a metaphor that I'm guessing we'll hear throughout the evening. And the stage that she will be speaking on behind me here as well is in the shape of the United States of America here. So once we see those shots later on this evening, that's some of the theatrics and stagecraft that will be happening here at the Javits Center for what they hope will be a victory party. But it's far too early to know that yet, Jake.
And Barbadians will be having their say about who they think will be the next president of the United States as Election Day winds down in the U.S. And most of them have given their vote of confidence to the front-runner Democrat Hillary Clinton to defeat Donald Trump. Our Shane Seeley spoke to people in the city about the election.
With a decision in one of the most controversial elections in U.S. history expected any moment now, Barbadians have been weighing in, and most of them are for Hillary Clinton.
I think that Hillary Clinton should win. She is the less of the two evils, because Donald Trump seems to be a more managed person, man. He don't seems to be there at all with it. Because don't forget that Donald Trump said that he would send out all the Muslims and so on out of America. So really, and if he should get it, I think around the world there would be a lot of problems with the Muslims and the African Americans.
And this man agrees.
Policies that he's espousing right now, I think it would be disastrous if. But then again, you know, the decisions in America, I believe, are not made unilaterally. So there's a Congress, there's a Senate, so. But Hillary burns down Trump, Hillary all is there.
Who do you prefer to win, Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump?
Hillary Clinton.
Why do you think that she should be the next U.S. president?
She more for the people more than Donald Trump.
What are your thoughts about Mr. Trump?
Well, Mr. Trump was fighting against getting out the non-national, so that's the next problem. Once you start fighting against non-national who come to build the country, you have a problem.
It don't really matter to me, but I prefer Hillary Clinton for some other reason.
But I did find a Donald Trump supporter.
I feel Donald Trump.
Why do you think Donald Trump will win?
Why do I feel? Because he's my man. I like to hear him talking. And if black people, enough black people in America like him.
I did speak to some American visitors as well who voted early before coming here on holiday. They were equally divided between Clinton and Trump, but have made a decision not to talk about the election while on vacation. Shane Seeley, CBC News.
Well, joining us live now is political analyst Maureen Holder. Maureen, welcome.
Thank you, Lisa.
Now,
Thanks
this is
for having me.
the first time that I'm seeing you for this particular election cycle, and a lot has gone on.
Absolutely.
It's been up and down, back and forth. In fact, some people have been calling it the biggest reality show that they've seen.
I told you, Lisa, not to say that because that will make me laugh.
What are your thoughts on this election?
You know, Lisa, in all seriousness, both candidates on their own do not have strong enough political personalities that will resonate effectively with the American public. So my take on it, had it not been for the fourth and fifth estate, which is the traditional media, and then of course the social media and the other communities outside of the journalists, had it not been for those two groups, we would have seen the most unexciting presidential campaign in my short lifetime, and I have to say in my lifetime because there would have been others that I do not know about. So it has been exhausting. Today is a day that I could not wait for because of the level of the debate. Obviously, I would give Hillary Clinton the edge over Trump. She's more articulate. She demonstrates a capacity to manage power more effectively than Trump. But other than that, in my view, the two candidates on their own would not have resonated and gelled with the U.S. public had it not been for the media. And the media played a crucial role in this presidential campaign. So I suppose you can tip your hat off to the U.S. media.
Well, the media, you're saying the media played a role, but the question is, what kind of role? Do you see it as they've been pushing Hillary Clinton to Trump's detriment, or is it that Trump, by his mouthings, the things that he has said, really made it a no-brainer how it would be covered?
The things that the media brought to the public's domain gave the world that was watching the United States presidential campaign an insight to how Americans are thinking. What is coming? Because people are going to be looking at these two candidates as the voice of America, so to speak. They're going to be the leaders. And therefore, what they say will sufficiently resonate throughout the world. But it goes back to the point I was making earlier. Without strong media intervention, whether it's supporting Hillary to the detriment of Donald Trump, you cannot take away the effect, the important role that the media has played throughout this entire presidential campaign. So we will look tonight as the results come in, and we would have a winner either way, and that has to remain as it is. We hope that there will be no civil unrest and that the American people can respect that they and the Electoral College, because of course the Electoral College will determine the president, that they have spoken and that is it.
Will one or the other continue to solidify America's position as a world power, if not the leading world power?
Well, Lisa, the central part of the presidential election has been based on retaining United States hegemonic power in the world. Sorry, we can't go any further with this. I would really like to develop that.
Well, maybe another time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you very much. That was a political analyst, Maureen Holder, talking about the U.S. campaign ongoing. And you can join us here on CBC TV 8 tonight at 9 for our 2016 U.S. Election Watch with host CBC's General Manager Doug Hoyt and his panel. Well, in other news now, back at home, a routine stop for gas today took a turn for the worst for a St. Michael farmer. Ian Webster of Bibby's Lane said he had just exited the service station in Redmond's Village when he noticed smoke coming from the engine of his Suzuki van. Upon closer inspection, he discovered that the vehicle was actually on fire and hurriedly tried to remove his tools from the burning van. However, the produce which he was transporting for sale, along with his driver's license and insurance details, were destroyed in the fire. Mr. Webster, who usually sells roasted corn in Huddersfield Turning, says the van was insured, but lamented the loss of the vehicle which he used to ply his trade. As the nation prepares to mark its 50th year of political independence, one local company is continuing to push the Buy Local campaign. Sunrise Chicks is standing by its products as its director, Heather Spencer, encouraged Barbadians to embrace the campaign. The company showed its commitment to Barbados, partnering with the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation and its Guardians of the Heritage Initiative. Mrs. Spencer was joined by several staff members decked out in their national colors to witness the flag raising.
We are a local company of Barbados supplying with local chicken, and you'll see it in the many supermarkets and stores. And we produce a good quality bird, and it's locally all grown and reared and processed. And we want to encourage you. We want to thank our many customers and also encourage you to continue to buy local so that it will continue to build our economy, and by so building our economy, our nation. And this morning we want to say thanks to all our customers, and we will say happy independence to all Barbados.
Chief MCTV Officer Andrew Green says Sunrise Chicks' journey from startup is inspirational.
When you started out as a backyard farmer some 34 years ago, and then you grew and were incorporated some 18 years ago, and returned to the status that you have now, where you're supplying so many operations within Barbados and the general public. We especially welcome you as one of the guardians of our heritage, and thank you for your involvement in this project with us.
Well, there will be no classes for students in the reception to Class 1 at St. Paul's Primary tomorrow, Wednesday. Confirmation of this from Senior Education Officer, who says since recent heavy rains, there have been challenges with some of the classrooms. The Ministry of Education says it will keep students and parents up to date on developments at that school. We'll take a break here, but when we come back, more news.